Day of alone hunting. Today I went out hunting alone and caught a buffalo. It was humongous, and I hunted by myself to get away from the tribe life for a while, so it took a few hours to get back to the settlement. Yes, I know, it's weird to hunt alone for the fearsome Apache, but still, it's fun. When I arrived, people began chanting my name since I caught the huge prey. Sit-la-lee, Sit-la-lee. Sometimes I ponder about my name, though its meaning is uncomplicated. Sit-la-lee, it means star. A bit odd for a man, but who cares? Anyway, my friends and I started immediately preparing the deceased buffalo for eating. My child, Calfere, started to cry. She's always been a bit fussy. I could hear her in the teepee from my position several meters away, and those teepees are thick bison leather. Anyway, the wife called for a piece of meat for the 3-year-old. I roasted it over the fire for a few minutes and tried to throw it over my left shoulder. Unfortunately, it caught on my left ear piercing, which is limited to the Apache. I really should have thrown it over the right shoulder, no? It was a heavy chunk and brought me to the ground with the force at which I released it. My usual hunting buddies laughed their little butts off. I brought the meat right to the teepee. Immediately, I was faced again with my wife. Her hair was neatly tied in a long, single braid. Her necklace was made of beautiful little seashells. Not that different from any other Apache woman, but what I love is her caring, kind personality. Anyway, I handed her the chunk of meat, which she gladly accepted and gave to the toddler to nibble on. After preparing the buffalo for eating, I took my fair share of meat back to the teepee and cooked it. Thank goodness the teepees here have a smoke flap. It makes us able to cook inside. Out of nowhere, a huge cacophony sounded outside. Something like a lot of people talking. I quickly ran outside to see if we were being attacked, but they were only causing a brouhaha about a falling star. It's a sign! Sit-la-lee is going to be our next chief! Wait, what? I'm not fit to be a chief. Sit-la-lee! Sit-la-lee! They began chanting for the second time. There's no way this is a sign. This is just a coincidence, right? Killer of enemies, the Apache god has blessed us with an omen. Sit-la-lee shall be our next chief, the shaman called. Let us suppress Ahiga and proclaim Sit-la-lee as the new chief. Well, that was unexpected. Honestly, I didn't want to be chief. Apparently, Ahiga, the current chief, wouldn't step down, even though the laws of the tribe say that anyone could become a chief if they had the support of the tribe, and that a chief must step down if the tribe wishes so. After many protests lasting about an hour, Ahiga finally came out of his decorated teepee. If the so-called new chief can kill me in a battle, I will gladly give up my position, he commanded. And so it was. I prepared for a man-to-man fight to the death. We were each allowed to have a horse, and each of us would have a bow, 5 arrows, and a dagger. We would not be able to kill the horses. It was a fight to the death, not just a half-hearted training battle. An hour later, at midnight, it was time to begin. 8 flaming torches surrounding us, and readied my bow as Ahiga charged straight at me with his dagger. I shot, but he easily parried with the knife. I was trying to pull my own knife from the fold in the bison skin I wore, but he threw his straight at me. It grazed my shoulder, causing me to bleed. Ouch. This time, I readied my dagger and charged at him. Not having time to string his bow, Ahiga threw an arrow at me, which I sidestepped easily. I was close enough that I could stab him, but he parried with yet another arrow. Using it, he stabbed my hand, causing me to drop the dagger. I had only just noticed, but he was getting really tired, and I used the opportunity to stab him with an arrow. He dropped to the floor and was carried off by the shaman for medical examination. To be honest, I felt really bad about wounding him. He used to be my friend, but I guess his arrogance led to his defeat. Killer of enemies, please don't let Ahiga die. He's my friend.